What is up, you guys? Matt from Our Process, and guys, today I want to talk to you guys about my first ever Supreme cop and also my first ever Supreme resell on the same exact item. And I just want to talk to you guys about that whole process, about how I actually got the Supreme item and how I got it, and then also I want to talk to you about the process about how I resold it and how I made profit and stuff like that and whatnot. And I don't know if you guys know anything about like Supreme and stuff, but I know you guys know that I've been getting into like shoe reselling and stuff like over the last couple of months, and that's been great. Like there's something else called Supreme Reselling, and basically every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, Supreme, which is like a streetwear skateboard brand, they drop like a group of items or a good amount of items, clothes, items, accessories, whatever it is, in this one drop every single week on Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I really started getting into that, so I want to explain that journey of that process of how I got my first Supreme item and how I also resold it. So a couple weeks ago, I was actually in Tampa for like a state thespian like festival or whatever. It was actually it's basically like a theater competition that's like statewide, where all the kids in Florida come into this like little festival. We have a great time. Basically, I was on Thursday. I was at an acting workshop. It was from 9 to 12 a.m. I was in this acting workshop. So yeah, it was great. And the acting workshop was basically just a workshop to help you get better in acting, developing character and stuff like that. It was like 10:55, and I knew that the Supreme was gonna drop in like 5 minutes, right? So I'm like trying to figure out what I'm gonna like try and get. What's the retail on it? What I'm gonna resell it for and stuff like that. Make sure I make profit. So I realized that I was gonna get the counter-attack long sleeve tee, and I thought it was gonna be really, really cool. I knew what size I was gonna get, knew what color, so I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. Once I get this drop, because this kind of stuff, like it sells out. It can sell in as low as 6 seconds. So you have to be very, very quick when buying Supreme and stuff and trying to resell it. Obviously, like during this entire time, like I'm in like the corner of the room, like on my phone, like while everyone else is like developing character and stuff. So that was like, actually really funny. So 11 a.m. hits, and I go into the store. I'm like refreshing like the Supreme store or whatever, and I go into it, and I'm on this I'm on the page, and I look in the new category, and I was like scrolling through it, and I couldn't find the t-shirt. I was like scrolling all around, like probably 10-15 seconds of me just like trying to find the item. And then I go back and I go into the section where it's like where it says like tops. And I go and I like click it, and then I see the product and I click it. I click white and then the small size, and I click add to my cart. I have this like little filler app will like fill up my credit card information, like my shipping information, like all before, so I don't have to like sit there and type it out. So I fill it up really quickly. I press it, and it's like loading for a little bit. I'm like shaking like this entire time. I've never copped an item, so I was like freaking out, right? So then I go, and it's like loading and stuff like that, and and at first I thought I didn't get it because like it's loading for so long, like it's probably sold out by now. And it's loading, and it puts me to a screen, and it's like your order has been processed. Like, thank you for buying with Supreme. Like, you'll get an email. So I was like so happy. That was my first ever Supreme. Like I was like jumping around like in this acting workshop, and like no one knew what I was doing. Like everyone was so confused. But I was like super happy. It was my first ever cop. I believe it was like $58 retail and $68 with the shipping and stuff, which was a moderately great price for a long sleeve tee. And this was a collab with Public Enemy and Undercover that Supreme did. So that was so it's going to be a really, really great resale price and whatnot. So overall, guys, it was just an amazing. That was just absolutely hilarious, doing it in my acting workshop. So I ended up copying it. I was like freaking out, like I said, like super, super happy. I'm like texting my friends who I do this stuff with, and like they're like freaking out as well, and we're all like super happy. So you guys, that was my first ever Supreme cop, and like I said, absolutely great experience, hilarious how I got it and stuff. Now I wanted to talk to you guys about the whole reselling process. So I use an app. I use two different ways to sell it. I use eBay, and I also use Grailed. But something that me and my friends do is that we all have a shared Grail account. So whenever we cop anything, we just put it on there, so we can all collect, basically get a collective amount of reviews, sales, so it makes it look good. And also we basically just showed this one Grailed account. Grailed is an app for like reselling, basically anything from shoes to clothing to just basically anything. And we were using this app. And I wait for the shirt to come in, and it comes in after like 4 or 5, like I think maybe like 6 days. So I think like the resale price was like slowly inching its way down a little bit. And so basically so I put it on the grail. The moment I get it, I take some really nice professional pictures and whatnot. I put it on my grail. I put the price at about like 120 or something like that. It's kind of just sitting there. I think I got like one offer, and it was like kind of a joke offer. Like he was offering me like $75, and that means I would basically profit like nothing in the long scheme of things. But I paid $78. I was like, I was trying to make it my way up so that I can kind of get it to maybe even the 90s, like if I can even get up there, whatever. But I didn't really want to worry about that guy. He didn't seem like he wanted to pay for anything more than 75. Basically, since it seemed like 120 was a little bit high for the resale price, I dropped it down to 110 so that maybe it would look more appealing to the people who are looking through it or scrolling through all these items. So then about a week later, I get another offer. The offer was for $85, which was better than the last one, but still, like I'm trying to get as much profit from this thing as I can. So I'm like trying to talk to him. I'm like trying to give him the value. And I actually to try and raise the price, I also include the Supreme bag, the Supreme stickers, and the Supreme poster that they give with every single order. So that actually helped me in raising up the price and raising up his offer. So that 85 actually turned into 90, and then it turned into 95, and then it turned into 100. I'll sell this for you for $100. I'll include the sticker, not only the long sleeve tee, but I'll also include the bag, the stickers, the poster, like everything that goes along with it, and I'll make sure to package it well so it gets to you safely. If you accept it, like we can get this done right now, and I'll ship it. Like the very next day and stuff. So he was like, sure, my man. So he actually ended up buying it for $100, and it was really, really nice because he actually gave me a 5-star review, which was absolutely amazing. So like I said, he bought it for $100, and that was super awesome because that means that I'm supposed to get, so I bought it for like 68 or whatever, and I resold it for 100. Supposed to get maybe around $30 or something, maybe around $20. If you take away the shipping and the fees and stuff, so like $20. Like it's fine. Like this is great, good money. It's $20 more than I had before. I actually sold it to him yesterday, and I actually go I'd say probably a couple hours ago. I go the post office to go and send it out. So basically, what Supreme does is they put the items in the bag and they ship it to you. Originally, and on the shipping label that Supreme sent me, it said UPS ground. So for some reason, I thought that since they sent it to me on UPS, since Supreme sent it to me on UPS ground, I thought that I also had to send it UPS ground as well. So yeah, I go to my local UPS store, and I go to try to ship the package with the t-shirt, with the shirt in it. And I go in there, I give the shirt to the lady. I'm like, hey, I really need you. I need to send this to my buyer today. Can I get a shipping label, and can we ship this out today? I'm like, yeah, no problem, or whatever. And I actually, and so she was doing it. She was like weighing it and stuff. It was only like a pound. She was measuring it. And it was like very, very small, like nothing big at all, like very light, very small. And she was like, okay, yeah, that'll be $15. And I'm like, $15 for like just a pound weight, or maybe like this big, I'm saying? 15, like that's a lot of money for just to ship something out. So I'm like very confused. I'm like, is there anything cheaper than that? And they were like, no, that's actually like probably the cheapest that we can probably do this for you. So I was like super confused at this time. Like everything kind of closes at 5 p.m. So I couldn't go to another UPS store, and I couldn't go to the USPS shipping because I didn't think that I was allowed to, since Supreme sent it to me on UPS ground. So basically, I'm like, okay, sure. Then I pay the $15, and I'm like, what the heck? Like I'm only gonna make like $10 off of this T-shirt, which is like I was supposed to make like 30, right? So I was a little bit mad. I was like asking my friends about it and stuff like that, and basically, I guess the reason why it was that expensive was because it was this is like a locally owned UPS store, so they try to they really try to make that price as high as possible, and and also it was UPS ground, so they're basically driving this package all the way to some person in a completely different state, so it's probably a lot more expensive to have to do that. So that was definitely one of the biggest mistakes that I made on this drop in this whole reselling process. So like I said, I probably will make like $10-15 from this max. I think, but guys, that was my first ever Supreme sale, like first ever Supreme cop and resell, and I think like this was absolutely amazing experience. I learned a lot. For the next time I cop something and next time that I get something, anything from Supreme or even for my shoe reselling, like I know that this taught me a lot about how to copying something and reselling something and the whole idea of shipping it, and also the skills that I gained in negotiating with that one buyer, so you can get as much profit from an item as possible, especially when you're kind of dealing with not a huge amount of money. You want to capitalize on as much profit as you can, and the way to do that is through negotiating and stuff. So I learned a ton about that, and it taught me a lot about planning and making sure that I know exactly the section that I need to go in, on the Supreme store, and what size I'm gonna get and what color shirt I'm gonna get and exactly what item I'm gonna get, so I can come out of it like going as quickly as possible on the site to try and cop the item that I'm trying to get. So I'm saying, like, so planning it ahead of time is like super important. I learned that just being able to please your buyer, making sure that he that he or she is the number one, is 100% pleased with everything that's happening, the whole transaction, the money involved, like everything, and also communicating with that person, everything that's happening, and keeping him updated with what's happening and stuff like that, and making sure that he's pleased, so that he'll give us a 5-star review, so they can possibly even buy something in the future, or maybe even refer our account to a different friend, and that whole process. And then also just I learned a lot about the shipping stuff, and how not to go to the UPS ground, but to go to the official USPS store to ship it like that. So I learned a ton from this, and like I said in a couple videos ago, this is all a ton of fun for me, a great experience to build some skills. My time and everything I'm putting into this is not being wasted. Like, I'm getting a ton of great experiences from this, no matter if I make $100 off of a shoe or a Supreme item, or if I make $5, $10, $15 from something. I know that I'm learning so much throughout this entire journey. I just want to say thank you so much for staying with me through this journey, and I promise you guys I'll probably be making a little bit more money off my next drop, because I will be taking the mistakes that I learned and I'll be applying them to my to the next drop, so I can learn from it and whatnot. So yeah, guys, hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. Keep loving the process, and I will see you guys later. Bye.